All right, let's get this show started.
Dana White is once again facing heavy criticism following a series of recent posts on his Instagram stories. Dana used his Instagram account to repost the UFC story announcing the untimely death of flyweight contender Alan Nascimento. In the very next post, White called it a great day while blowing cigar smoke into the camera. The timing of the post did not go unnoticed. Many people, including UFC lightweight Renato Moicano, criticized White over the situation. Moicano wrote, "Damn dude, Dana messed up on this one. Posted a picture of the kid and then a cigarette case and we're all liking it. We're really just passing through this cruel world. Only Jesus saves." Here are some more reactions from the MMA community. Dana White, you are absolutely disgusting. This sport is better without people like you. Starting to think Dana White is just evil. One of his fighters almost died and another one of his fighters literally did die today, by the way. Not former fighters either, active fighters in his promotion. Another fan said, "The guy who beats his wife in front of everyone has been lost for a long time. There are men so poor that the only thing they have is money." Dustin Poirier will return to his television analyst role for the first time since his arrest earlier this summer. Poirier is still in the early stages of dealing with the aftermath of his arrest for public intoxication at Atlanta International Airport. He faces up to a year in prison and/or a fine if convicted of the misdemeanor charge. Poirier recently shared that one of his major post-fighting sponsors, Bud Light, opted to part ways with him following his arrest. His contract was terminated immediately following his detainment, and his long-term future as an analyst on Paramount Plus remains cloudy. Despite his recent legal issues, Poirier will return to the broadcast desk this weekend at the Apex in Las Vegas. He will sit alongside anchor Dean Thomas and former UFC fighter Alan Jouban at the broadcast desk for mid-event and post-fight segments. UFC Vegas 120 is headlined by a lightweight matchup between Poirier's teammate Mateusz Gamrot and surging contender Quillan Selkild. Things got heated between Dan Hooker and MMA Guru. The two have developed a tense online rivalry, with Guru frequently criticizing, reacting to, and trolling the New Zealand fighter. Now, things escalated during a recent livestream when Hooker threatened to headkick Guru if he ever saw him in person, accusing him of contacting his ex-girlfriend and asking about their breakup.
Yeah, the fat ginger fella, yeah, f that fucking loser. That's what the MMA guru. If I ever saw MMA Guru in real life, slap, head kick. Not even a slap, it's a fucking head kick. What kind of fucking homo calls someone's ex-girlfriend after you break up and ask them, what the fuck is wrong with you, cunt?
Guru has since fired back, claiming that the situation was actually the opposite and that Hooker's ex-girlfriend was the one trying to contact him, but he ignored her. Taking to X, he wrote, "I get Dan Hooker wanting to headkick me if he ever sees me. Welcome to the long line of UFC fighters. But I don't know what your ex-girlfriend told you during the breakup, but we were never talking. She tried many times before to get in contact with me, but I ignored her." Followed up with, "I joked about it a few times in response to some donations, but I never responded to her attempts before, during, or after his breakup. I'm a but I'm not that much of a Dan Hooker has every right to not like me, but I'd rather it be for the correct reasons. Still a fan." Michael Bisping believes there may be more to Anthony Smith's arrest incident. Smith and Bisping have been friends for several years, but the relationship became strained after Smith left Bisping's podcast, where he was a co-host. Now, speaking on the latest episode of his BYM podcast, Bisping shared his reaction to Smith's arrest and admitted he was shocked because he had never seen that side of his longtime friend. Bisping also suggested that Smith's wife's recent defense of him could be influenced by a desire to prevent Anthony from facing a lengthy prison sentence, rather than necessarily meaning that the incident did not happen the way it was initially described.
Yeah, now, obviously, there's always other sides, you know, so obviously we all know Anthony, and we're going to say the things that we just said. But I spoke to a couple of people, and their opinion was, fucking, he deserves what he gets, you know, and that's what a lot of people might think. They hear a story like this, you know, and they don't know the details and they don't know the human being behind it, and they just see the headlines and they think, well, this guy's an absolute scumbag. And obviously people that do behave like that are scumbags and should be in prison. So we don't know the ins and outs. I think there's much more to this. Hopefully that all comes out, and it was just, I don't know, a drunken night that got out of hand, and You know, she said she called the cops to help him from himself, you know, not the other way around.
It's tough to get into this stuff, but anybody that's abused tends to do this afterwards.
Well, that's why,
you know what I mean?
The police take over,
yeah,
and don't allow you to rescind them. And again, I'm not saying this is happening, far from it. Just please don't nobody think that. But that's why, because you're mentally controlling them. They're worried about the circumstances down the line, and you know, the family relationship and the dynamic with the children and all the rest of it. So, it's just I saw it and it's heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking. Hopefully, it runs its course and it's not as bad as what it sounds, and he's going to be okay, and the family's going to be okay. Because he does love that family, and I've seen him interact with his family. They ain't scared of him. She ain't scared of him. If anything, it's the other way around.
Legit, though.
The UFC Noche card won't be returning to the Sphere this year, but the lineup remains strong for the promotion's annual celebration of Mexican fighting culture. On Tuesday, UFC CEO Dana White appeared at State Farm Stadium for the official Noche UFC announcement, where he revealed the full card and confirmed that Yair Rodriguez vs. Jean Silva will headline the event on September 12th.
We've already announced some of the fights on the card. We have Brandon Moreno here today. Brandon Moreno versus Joseph Morales. Manon Farrow versus Alexa Grasso. David Martinez versus Danny Ige. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Curtis Blades. And the main event will be Yair Rodriguez versus Jean Silva. That's a great fight, ladies and gentlemen. Great fight. The WWE will bring one of its biggest annual events here, Royal Rumble. And Nikki Bella and Chelsea Green are here today, and they'll give you more details on that later on in the program. But I can tell you this, and most of you already know it, but the WWE has a very passionate global fan base that packs stadiums, and we're looking forward to bringing that buzz and economic impact here to Arizona.
Bo Nickal is joining the Khamzat Chimaev vs. Tyron Woodley show, and he's not getting an easy matchup. RAF announced Tuesday that Nickal is set to wrestle Olympic wrestling champion Shirvani Muradov at the upcoming RAF Moscow event, which is headlined by Chimaev vs. Woodley on September 5th. Nickal has recently returned to his wrestling roots with RAF, defeating Jacob Cardenas at the Freestyle Wrestling Promotions' inaugural event this past August. A subsequent matchup with MMA veteran Yoel Romero fell through, but Nickal is already scheduled to face 2026 NCAA Division I champion Max McAnally at RAF 12 on August 22nd and then square off with Muradov. Muradov makes his RAF debut. He won a gold medal in freestyle wrestling at 96 kilograms, approximately 212 pounds, representing Russia. Jorge Masvidal and Dustin Poirier believe the UFC welterweight division has a dangerous dark horse who could give the top 5 serious problems. Speaking on the latest episode of the UFC's Deep Waters podcast, Masvidal and Poirier praised Yaroslav Amosov's potential to become a UFC welterweight champion. They also agreed that Amosov would be a nightmare matchup for Islam Makhachev. Amosov is currently ranked number 14 in the UFC welterweight division and has already picked up 2 submission victories over Neil Magny and Joel Alvarez.
And I'm telling you this much, I love Carlos Prates. I think he's one of the most violent guys in the whole sport right now. But Yaroslav is a bad fight for him.
It's a tough matchup.
He's a bad fight for everybody. Even Makhachev, all the way down to number 10 guy, Yaroslav is that good. He's a bad fight for all these guys.
I think he's a nightmare for Islam.
Nightmare.
For
Makhachev.
Yeah, I think
he's
so.
Bigger, longer, and I'm gonna say probably stronger as well in his wrestling. He's also, I think, a 2-time world champion in Sambo, something like this.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be all right with the body locks, the foot sweeps, the in-close fighting that Makhachev does. Yaroslav will be able to outshine him probably.
And if the wrestling cancels itself out, I think Yaroslav's better on the feet.
Darren Till and Yoel Romero delivered what might be the longest face-off ever. The former UFC middleweights are set to clash at BKFC 94 on September 26th. On Tuesday, the two fighters came face-to-face for the first time during the event's launch press conference in Manchester, England. While the face-off started like a typical stare-down, it quickly turned into an intense moment as Till and Romero refused to break eye contact for nearly 4 minutes.
No, I don't fight. I don't fight him. I don't touch him. Don't touch him.
Fans finally have reason to be optimistic about Shavkat Rahkmonov's return to the octagon. Shavkat hasn't competed since defeating Ian Machado Garry in December 2024 and was later removed from the UFC welterweight rankings following his latest injury setback. It was subsequently revealed that Shavkat suffered another knee injury in training and underwent surgery. His team recently said he is expected to return in early 2027. Judging by the latest training footage, Shavkat's recovery appears to be going well. In a video shared by his coach, the undefeated welterweight was seen sparring for the first time since undergoing surgery. UFC featherweight fighter Danny Silva revealed the frightening medical situation that he is currently going through in his life. Silva recently suffered a near-death experience that has left him questioning the future of his MMA career. Taking to social media, Silva revealed that doctors discovered blood clots in his neck that had traveled down to his lungs, putting his life at risk. He wrote, "Could this have been my last dance? I don't know. 2 weeks ago, I thought I had a rib out. I pushed through like every fighter does. Friday I sparred, did my sprints, and my team thought I looked good. I didn't want to make excuses, but I mentioned that my left arm was hurting and my rib was hurting. My team helped with cupping and scraping. That same night, I went for a run at 8 p.m. I did 3 miles. On the 3rd mile, my body was shutting down. I pushed because I won't quit on myself, and 3 miles should be nothing. I got home and there was swelling on the left side of my neck and pec. A good doctor friend of mine recommended I go to the ER to make sure I wasn't having a heart attack. After 9 hours in the ER, doing EKGs and CT scans, they came back with some bad news. I had multiple blood clots. They found a massive thrombosis in a vein in my neck, and part of the clot had broken off and traveled to my lung, causing a pulmonary embolism. This news has changed my life. Spending 3 nights in the hospital was awful. The fact that I was still sparring and in such good shape just tells me how tough I can be in the face of adversity. Because I'm in such good shape, I was able to survive. They told me 50% of people don't make it. The fact that I was training, sparring, and pushing myself may have saved my life. But right now, there's still so much I don't know. I'm finally out of the hospital, but I have to be on medication for a couple of months. This isn't the first time I've had a setback." Ian Machado Garry's pre-UFC 330 media tour continues to leave fight fans scratching their heads. In the lead up to the event, Garry has sparked backlash over recent comments he made about women in positions of power. The remarks drew criticism from fans, while Uros Medic and several other fighters mocked Garry publicly. Former UFC heavyweight Brendan Schaub even called one of Garry's interviews one of the worst I've ever seen. Garry has yet to respond as he focuses on the final stretch of his preparation for the showdown with Islam Makhachev. Now, Garry has added even more fuel to the fire by teaming up with people for the ethical treatment of animals for a marketing campaign promoting a plant-based diet. Here's the commercial.
Every fighter wants to be the best. For me, it starts with what I put in my body. Before I was plant-based, I was strong. But now, I'm on another level. Because strength isn't just power. It's clarity, endurance, discipline. I recover faster, move smoother. This is what peak performance feels like. My body works better. My mind is locked in. I am not just fighting opponents, I'm fighting limits. To be the best version of me and the best athlete out there. This is the future. and the future is powered by plants.
The ad sparked a strong reaction from the MMA community. One fan wrote, "Just when you thought his unlikability would peak with the women should run the world stuff, he comes out and pulls this. Come on, dude, you're not being honest. This guy just keeps getting worse. Just fight and shut the f up about everything else." Another fan posted this gif.
What the f is that?
"This is where I'm at. It's actually respectable how naturally unlikable Ian Garry is. I think it's legit hard to be someone who is authentically themselves and be this unbearable of a dude. Gotta kinda respect it." We can see the effect of a plant-based diet with how Garry is unable to finish anybody other than himself to his wife and her boyfriend. Here are the top 3 memes found on the internet. Number 3 meme was posted by Raw Power. Number 2 meme was posted by Marshall PRS. And number 1 meme was posted by Robert.
What are you talking about? Your wrestling is zero. Your grappling is zero. I'm gonna mow you. Let's wrestle, kid. Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle.
Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for your daily dose of MMA. Catch you tomorrow.